Madagascar Foreign Minister hopes new AU leadership will bring the Africa we want. Madagascar Foreign Affairs Minister, Rasada Rafirvavadafika, has expressed her hope that the new leadership of the African Union will realize the Africa we want. In an exclusive interview with Pulse of Africa, the minister, who is in Addis Ababa to participate in the 46th ordinary session of the
Madagascar, we really do believe that it is high time to really make sure that we succeed all the reforms that are ongoing here at the African Union Commission. We are also going to elect all the new members of different commissions at the AUC, and we hope that with the new leadership we're going to make further efforts and make sure that the Africa we want will come to reality.
Elect 6 commissioners. The 6 commissioners to be elected will oversee the following portfolios: agriculture, rural development.
It's also the moment for us to really make sure that the continent is heard with one voice, and it is also the right moment to make sure that we really reach the main objective, which is sovereignty in all areas and independence in all decision-making processes.
Blue economy and sustainable environment, ARB, economic development, trade, tourism, industry and minerals, EDM, education, science, technology.
Is one of the founding member of the African Union, and we fully support the process of the Eswatini consensus, and we do support all the AUC efforts to make sure that we get a better representation of Africa within the United Nations Security Council, but also in different regional and international organizations.
$6 billion needed to humanitarian crisis in Sudan, UN Secretary-General. The United Nations Secretary-General, Antonio Guterres, announced that $6 billion USD is needed to...
The UN system, alongside national and international partner organizations, will also launch the 2025 Sudan Humanitarian Needs and Response Plan and the 2025 Sudan Refugee Response Plan. Together, these plans require $6 billion to support close to 21 million people inside Sudan and up to 5 million others, primarily refugees in neighboring countries.
Crisis in Sudan. He made the announcement during the high-level humanitarian conference for the people of Sudan
Humanitarian access remains a fundamental challenge, particularly where the fighting is most active. Civilians, including humanitarian workers, must be protected. Rapid, safe, unhindered and sustained humanitarian access must be facilitated in all areas of need.
In Addis Ababa today. The conference, co-hosted by Ethiopia, the United Arab Emirates, the African Union, and IGAD, aimed to mobilize regional
has worked hard for an African solution to this conflict. Just a few days ago, the AU panel on Sudan brought some Sudanese stakeholders together for its continued talks with Sudanese stakeholders. The Presidential Ad hoc Committee on Sudan, led by Uganda, was also established by the AU Peace and Security Council to engage the belligerents to this war. Today, this afternoon, there will be a meeting of AU Peace and Security Council on Sudan.
Global support to address Sudan's catastrophic humanitarian crisis and deliver a strong unified call for a humanitarian ceasefire.
Though the generosity of the international community significant but not sufficient, Sudanese are still suffering. The scale of this crisis demands more and more efforts. It is imperative that we are not only fulfill our existing commitment, but also mobilize additional resources to address the escalating needs for our brothers and sisters in Sudan.
Leaders in the sidelines of the 38th Ordinary Session. Leaders in the sidelines of the 38th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the African Union, AU, held discussion with their Ethiopian counterpart. Accordingly, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed held bilateral meetings with the leaders of Zambia and Senegal today. In a social media post, the Prime Minister said he had a great discussion with President Bassirou Diomaye Faye of Senegal on strengthening bilateral ties between our two nations. The two leaders have also agreed to work together to explore these opportunities for the mutual benefit of the countries and the continent. Similarly, in his bilateral meeting, Prime Minister Abiy discussed a range of regional and bilateral issues, including cooperation in the energy and aviation sectors with President Hakainde Hichilema of Zambia. Prime Minister Abiy has also conferred with President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud of Somalia today. Welcome back to Ethiopia, President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. Our frequent engagements are key to strengthening our ties and enhancing cooperation, Prime Minister Abiy said on social media post. With respect to international organization officials, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed met with Director General of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, Q Dongyu. The two sides stressed the need for enhancing food security, sustainability, and resilience. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed held discussion today with Global Fund Executive Director Peter Sands, focusing on strengthening collaboration. The Global Fund remains a key partner in supporting Ethiopia's health sector, and our discussions today focused on strengthening this collaboration, the Premier said on social media post. Ankara Declaration: powerful example to resolving conflicts, enhancing cooperation. Somalia's ambassador-at-large, Abdirashid said the Ankara Declaration sets a powerful example for neighboring nations to resolve conflicts, enhance cooperation, and work collectively.
One step in the right direction. The two countries has such interdependence on many issues. So it was part of the continuation of the relationship between our two countries. We have to create an environment where all countries respecting each other and living in peace and harmony in order to achieve a long-term stability in our region.
He stated that the declaration is a significant step toward regional integration in the Horn of Africa, calling it a step in the right direction.
Agreement in Ankara, which was involved by
for fostering peace, stability, and economic collaboration in the region. According to him, this landmark agreement between Somalia and Ethiopia underscores the importance of regional integration, peace, and economic collaboration. The ambassador-at-large noted that the declaration is being celebrated as a model for other African nations, demonstrating how diplomatic efforts can pave the way for long-term stability and prosperity. By addressing shared challenges and prioritizing mutual respect, the agreement sets the stage for broader regional collaboration, thereby building on the long-standing relationship between Somalia and Ethiopia, two nations with deep historical and cultural ties, he added. Ambassador stressed the need for creating an environment where all countries in the Horn of Africa respect each other and live in peace and harmony. He further noted that the Ankara Declaration builds on the long-standing relationship between Somalia and Ethiopia, with Ethiopia hosting the African Union headquarters and playing a key role in regional peace efforts. Ethiopia is the country hosting the African Union headquarters. It was also part of the continuation of that agreement and previous agreements which we have with Ethiopia, Ambassador explained. He also acknowledged Ethiopia's role in the AU peace mission in Somalia, underscoring the importance of collaboration between the two nations. Furthermore, Ambassador called on the nations in the region to come together, sit together, and advance their economies to help their people. Facilitated by the government of Turkey, the Ankara Declaration was signed by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali of Ethiopia and President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud of Somalia on December 11, 2024.